Recording in progress.
Good evening, and welcome to this meeting of the Old Kings Highway Committee of the Town of Yarmouth, which is being held in accordance with Chapter 470 of the Acts of 1973, as amended, at 7:15 p.m. on Monday, August 25th, 2025, at the Yarmouth Town Hall Hearing Room, located at 1146 Route 28, South Yarmouth. Moreover, pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, considering certain COVID-19 measures, this meeting is being run in hybrid mode, meaning live participation and some internet via Zoom participation as well. 5 new applications for certificates of appropriateness and 2 tabled certificates of appropriateness will be heard this evening in the order listed on the agenda. Please be reminded that our committee's main purpose is to review items for appropriateness and setting, and it is the responsibility of the applicant to comply with the regulations of other town boards and departments, including building, conservation, engineering, health, zoning, and the sign inspector. You should know that there is a 10 calendar day appeal period starting once a decision is filed with the town clerk. Any person aggrieved by our decision tonight can appeal to the Regional Commission of the Old Kings Highway Historic District. Our office administrator, Lisa Sherman, will be happy to answer any questions you may have regarding this process. And so, as some of you may be aware, but for the benefit of those who don't, our process here is to call each application in order, as listed on the agenda, have the applicant and/or the applicant's representatives, if present, come before us to the table in front of me, speak into the microphone, identify yourself or yourselves, and state your application in toto without interruption from either members of the committee or from the public. After which I will ask the public, especially abutters, if desired, to address the application, and for that purpose, if present, if you would stand to the podium to my front left. Likewise, speak into the microphone, identify yourself and where you live, and state your piece. So, we will proceed with the first application on the agenda, which is 25-A114, is to paint the front of the house and the garage at 1 Duck Pond Road. Kevin Quinlivan, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, is the owner. And who do we have tonight to present?
That says, whose phone is that?
Anyone online?
I can't read what that says. Something phone. Can you read that?
No. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to table the application until the end of the meeting.
Move to table application 25-A114.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of tabling signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So we'll move on to the second item on the agenda, which is 25-D005. It's to demolish a cottage at 44 Strawberry Lane. Paul White, David Nault are the owners, and Corey's Custom Landscaping is the agent. And who do we have tonight?
The owners,
Paul White.
David Nault.
Okay. So, present, please.
We are looking to demolish a cottage that's on our property that is in very bad disrepair and is not something of historical significance. It came there about the 50s. That's really, and replant the yard. We're not planning to put, as of yet, we're not planning to put another building in its place.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Questions or comments from the committee?
So I'm curious, is the cottage the same age as the house itself, or similar?
No.
But the house is 200 years old, 17.
Oh, the house is 200 years, because it says
Yes.
1940 on the
Right,
year
that's-
built. So that's the cottage,
That's how
year
old
built.
the cottage is,
Got it.
exactly.
And how long?
It's actually a log cabin that was from the Adirondacks that they split in half and put on a train and brought down here and reassembled the backyard.
And so it's always had a kink in the middle because the structure never really held, but
We've had it for the past 25 years of the house, and we've patched along as much as we can, but it's just at that age, it's rotting, and we've replaced, we tried to patch the roof, and it leaks, and.
Too bad, it's a cute little cottage.
It was cute when it
cute in
was,
the day, but when it
cute in
turned,
the
it just.
day.
it turned quickly and it's
It turned quickly,
old.
like, it's just the animals have kind of taken over.
It's also difficult to see from Strawberry Lane. I had to drive by twice.
Yes, it is.
To even see it. Okay, any questions or comments from the public, especially abutters? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on this application.
Move to approve application 25-D005.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So, congratulations, gentlemen. If one of you would come up and sign this document, in the event that you should change your mind, you'll let us know.
We're at 8:25.
That's 25. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Good night.
Oops.
The next item on the agenda is 25-A115. It's to square off the opening and replace the garage door and replace the trim at 17 Dauphine Drive. Christine Murphy is the owner.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Chris Murphy, the owner, and it's exactly what you just said, to replace the garage door, square the opening, and replace the trim.
Is that it?
That's it.
Questions or comments from the committee?
What type of garage door will it be? What will the material be?
PVC, it's American, it's Fimble. American Legend Series.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Questions or comments from the public, especially abutters? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on this application.
I move to approve 25-A115.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So, as long as you sign this document, in case you want to change your mind about any aspect of the project, you'll let us know. Thank you. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
this one again, too.
Sorry.
Screwed up on it. This one again, screwed up. The next item on the agenda is 25-A116. It's to install 37 solar panels on the front and rear roofs at 59 North Dennis Road. Lisa Potter is the owner. Ion Solar Pros LLC is the agent.
It's online.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Carlton Vians. I'm representing Ion Solar Pros.
Tell us about your application.
We are applying to construct a rooftop solar system on the home at 59 North Dennis Road. It would consist of 37 solar panels in total, placed on both sides of the house, both front and rear.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Questions or comments from the committee?
I have a question. So Carlton, you said was your name?
Yes.
Thank you. So I'm looking at the application, and I'm a little confused because there's a diagram that shows 2 rows of 8 panels on the front of the house on each level of roof. So they're sort of consistent. But then I turn back to a diagram that shows a photograph of the house with the solar panels placed in a completely different configuration. So I'd like to clarify which one you're proposing.
The image of the home was, I guess, computer-generated image. I would say that is very inaccurate. The layout on the engineering print would be the more accurate image.
Okay, so can you confirm that that would be 8 panels on each level of the front of the house for a total of 16 on the front?
Correct.
Thank you. So it's this, not that.
Other questions or comments from the committee?
Yes. By how much is the 37 panels likely to provide of the house's electricity needs?
It's sized according to their electricity usage, and generally it would be 100% of what they currently use for electricity.
Is there a significant expectation of in excess of 100%?
There is a possibility, but very unlikely. They usually size according to the utility allowance, and the utility does allow 100%.
Thank you.
I'm a little, need some help in understanding why 37 panels. We have other applications before us tonight for fewer than 20 panels, homes which are larger. This is a 1,600 square foot single-story ranch, and 37 seems to be an inordinate number of panels compared to what we normally see.
Right. So the homeowners' habits play a big role in that. If they leave a lot of lights on, also what they have for heating and cooling. It's possible they have a couple of cooling systems, possibly electric heat, also electric stove is possible at the home.
Well, I live in a 2,400 square foot house, and I have most of those things going on, and I use 7,000 kilowatt hours a year. Can you try and relate 37 panels to that?
I cannot. Again, that's a homeowner habit of how much electricity they use. I've seen large houses with very small systems, and as you're saying, a smaller home here with a very large system. I do agree that this is a large system. This is on the larger side for a residential system, especially for this size. But again, the homeowner's habits play a big part in how the system is sized.
My second question is, the house, the rear of the house faces southwest and the front faces northeast. So I believe it was 16 of these panels are on a northeast facing roof.
Correct.
It seems that, if the panels on the south would provide enough electricity for a typical house, I'm having a hard time accepting the need for 37.
Right. So what we do is the process is we use the homeowner's electricity bill, which gives on there is a 12-month usage for their annual consumption, and we put that into the computer system, which allow us to design the system. It also takes into account what's called LiDAR, which is shading on the roof. So it is possible, but I do not see on the satellite image many trees around the home that would cause shading. And as we design the system, we would get as close as we can to 100%.
So I guess the question is, why are not the 21 panels in the rear of the house sufficient?
Again, their usage is, from what I'm seeing, their usage must be very high. And the 21 on the rear, just my guesstimate is that it probably got them maybe to 70%, based off of how many panels are on each side.
Does the computer tell you what the home's usage is annually?
Their electricity bill has that information, but yeah, we type that in and it will total that up.
Would you care to disclose it?
I do not. I'm sorry. I apologize. I do not have that exact information on me.
I understand. It just seemed like a lot of lights got left on. That was all.
I agree. I do agree. This is a very large system for a smaller home.
Have they had Mass Save come through to do an energy audit?
That I'm unsure of.
Well, North Dennis is fairly prominent artery, but it's in a relatively non-sensitive area of the historic district. So I suppose we could ignore what would, on the face of it, appear to be an excessive number of panels in light of what I just said. I don't know how the rest of the committee feels about that. Would we like to have more information?
I don't think we need to vote on the number of panels. That's not our purview. Our purview is what it looks like.
Well,
So
What I'm-
I'm wondering, Carlton, so the configuration of the roof in the front of the house has a steeper pitch than a shallower pitch, and that shallow pitch, the proposal shows 8 panels on the steep pitch and an additional 8 panels on the shallower pitch. It seems to me that the shallower pitch is much less visible from the road, and I'm wondering if you could put 10 or 12 panels on the shallower pitch and add another on the rear, and that would be adequate, so you wouldn't really see them from the front. Just a thought.
Let me pull up the measurements here. Just by looking at it, I don't think that we would be able to squeeze all the panels on that shallower pitch. We do need to also have fire setback for a fire department access. So it needs to be 3 feet on one side of the roof. So that does limit us slightly. It looks like pretty much the percent of the roof coverage is it's pretty well covered. Maybe be able to fit possibly 2 more on there at max.
So the computer-generated diagram that I spoke about earlier in the rear of the application shows 12 panels on the upper part of the front roof and 4 on the lower part. And I'm curious if you could fit 12 in the lower part, and that would be adequate to meet their needs. And you'd be eliminating what? 4 panels.
I think we need more definitive
To eliminate
information.
4 panels.
Right. How much? And it's the north-facing roof, so I would imagine that those north-facing 4 panels are not going to be providing as much power as the southwest-facing roof. I don't know.
Right.
So what we deal in with this committee is appropriateness and setting. And if there were no alternative to having 16 panels on the front-facing roof of that house, which is the less advantageous location for solar efficiency, then that would be one thing. But it would seem to me that there are questions among members of this committee as to whether there are really that many panels are necessary, and it would be far more palatable if we had less visibility from North Dennis. All things being equal, and that I don't know the answer to that question.
Right. Yeah, we could look into potentially, that is roof plane 3, which is northeast facing. It's the steeper pitch roof, potentially removing the panels from there and seeing how that affects the production and the customer's
I think
offset.
I think the questions are not just that, but why are the 21 panels on the more productive roof not sufficient? That's my overriding question. Why is that not sufficient?
Right. Again, it's based off of the customer's habits, how much electricity they use total. So clearly they use quite a bit of electricity. the 21 panels just are not able to produce enough according to the computer generated numbers. And that's why there's an additional 16 on the other side. These are a higher wattage panel so that we could reduce the number on the north side. But increasing the wattage, there's not many more panels right there to increase the wattage and offset those 16 panels.
So Carlton, I'm curious, on roof, you're calling roof 2 and roof 3. So roof 2 is the less steeply pitched roof in the front of the house, correct?
Yes.
I'm curious, between those two roof pitches, which pitch is more advantageous to collecting solar energy, given that it's a northern exposure?
I would expect roof 2 in this case may grab some more sunlight than roof 3, given the pitch of the roof.
Okay, so a flatter pitch is better in that sort of situation?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
I'd like to explore.
Questions
I would
or-
like to explore more panels on roof 2 instead of roof 3. That's what I would suggest.
I would like to explore no panels on the front of the house.
I think it would be very helpful, if possible, in your interactions with the computer, if we could actually learn what the electricity consumption is, Carlton, if you please.
Okay, yes, I can. I'm assuming this is probably going to be tabled to a later date. I'm sorry, I don't know how this whole process goes the first time I've been in one of these meetings.
Well, we haven't had a motion on that yet,
Yeah.
so it's certainly looming as a distinct possibility, but I don't know at this point.
Right. So yeah, right now, unfortunately, I don't have. I apologize. In a parking lot right now. I don't have access to the software, but just to kind of give you an idea of how the software works is, again, we type in the customer's usage by month for the last 12 months. We select the roof planes on the house, and LiDAR estimates its solar, how much solar that the roof plane will get, and then we type in the type of solar panels that we would like to use. And we don't just type in one, we explore different types to see what the best fit is for the situation. And that tells us from there how many solar panels we basically need. And again, we can play with it, we can do different things, but ultimately our engineers determine what we have in front of us is the best fit for the customer's home or for their usage.
Right, but you understand the questions that have been posed by the committee, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't see how a 1,600 square foot house could burn this inordinate amount of electricity by leaving lights on. It just seems, something seems to be off. And,
They have an electric
perhaps you
car they
might
charge.
take a closer look at where the electricity demand is coming from within the house. There could be a leak somewhere. Something could be going on to drive this out of the ordinary amount of electrical usage.
Right.
And I think the suggestion of an energy audit is well worth considering.
Yes, we can definitely speak to the homeowner about that.
Are there any questions or comments from the public, especially abutters? All right, and now I will entertain a motion on the application.
I move to table application 25-A116.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of tabling the application signify by saying that aye.
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 And aye. So thank you, and look forward to more information.
Thank you.
Okay, the next application on the agenda is 25-A117. It's to replace shingles, trim, and windows, reuse or replace the shutters, replace the barn door on the garage, build a new deck in the rear, move the rinsing station, and replace the exterior light fixtures at 31 Belle of the West Road. Marcia Johnson is the owner. Mark R. Power Construction, Inc. is the agent.
Hi.
Welcome.
So who's going to present?
You want me to? Sure. My name's Mark Power. I'm here to help RC get through some of the information for you on this plan. As was stated, we need to update windows, shingles, trim, add a deck in the back. This is her family's home, and she just would like to put some love and care back into it and eventually move into it. It's been fixed up. So, the windows that we proposed on the plan are some similar windows around the neighborhood. Nothing too out of the ordinary for what's going on. Replacing the doors also. The doors are going to be pretty much similar to what's there, except for the slider that's in the rear of the home. Add-on. And a new deck in the back. The deck in the back of the house has approximately a 20 to 25 foot tree line behind it, so it's not exposed to any public except from the sides of the other neighbors. The slider is off a mudroom there where there's a double window now, so it's not really adding too much more at that point. And then moving the rinsing station. That will be constructed out of PVC like the rest of the trim around the door. Back here and do it again someday when it rots out. So I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think the only things that I would mention that we might miss, changing a couple of the windows slightly.
Reconfiguring windows, right.
There, in the bedroom, there's one wall that has a single window.
You have a before and after situation? I'm not.
You should.
Pictures, but
Yeah.
we can go one by one around the house if you'd like to.
Starting with the existing left, or starting with the front? Starting with the front, the only real change for is there's right now is at a swinging barn door above the garage. Above the garage. I don't know what he was thinking when he did that. It doesn't really fit the Cape Cod aesthetic, right?
You lost, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Switching that to a 2x2 window.
Yes, which is the same thing it's on the back of the garage currently. The windows would change from a 12/8 to a 6/1 to give a little more light and visibility into the house. That's about the only change front. Existing left elevation has the upstairs bedroom window is similar to the ones in the front of the house. I think they're like 30 by 60.
Yes, right.
And instead of it being vertical, we're doing it horizontal, the two horizontal next to each other, which would allow furniture placement in the room that is not there at all. It would not visible much except from the neighbor's side. Back elevation, the kitchen window is getting a little wider, and the patio door would replace the double windows in the mudroom. Am I going too fast? Okay. And on the right elevation, the existing has that one pretty approximately, and privacy, since it looks right onto the neighbor's deck.
Approximately 2x2 windows put together.
over behind the garage. What the deck, where that is right now. And I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you.
Questions?
Just about to ask that myself. Any comments or questions from the committee?
First of all, I would like to say thank you so much for presenting the existing and proposed. It is so, so helpful to see them side by side, to see what's going on. I really appreciate that. I think everything looks great.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Yeah, I concur. The being able to compare the existing with the proposed is very, very helpful. Questions or comments from the public, especially abutters? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion on this application.
I move to approve application 25-A117.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And aye. So, as you've undoubtedly heard me say before, if you have a change of heart with any aspect of the application, you'll let us know. And this is the document you're signing that attests to that.
And since you were so thorough in your application, it made it so easy for us.
Right there. Thank you. Night. So we have two tabled applications. The first one is 25-A0099. It's to install 12 solar panels on the back L roofs at 55 Roof 6A. Susan Starkey is the owner, Skyline Solar LLC is the agent, and I need a motion to untable that application.
Move to untable 25-A099.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of untabling the application signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And aye. And now we will hear 25-A099.
Gentlemen,
Good evening. So before you proceed, gentlemen, we have received letters about this application, and I will read them into the public record.
Are these the same letters or new letters?
New letters.
These are new letters.
New letters.
How many in total?
Just three.
Just to prepare.
Okay.
Just three.
The previous letters are still on record.
Still in consideration here?
Yes.
To the Old Kings Highway Committee and to Lisa Sherman, its administrator, I write as a 6A homeowner since 1997. Yet again, the Starkeys refused to accept an Old Kings Highway decision denying the installation of visible solar panels on their mid-19th century house. This most recent proposal would position multiple panels on both north and south roofs, facades of an L, all of which would be clearly visible heading either way on Willow Street. Knowing by now that their project's visibility is a barrier to approval by Old Kings Highway, I find it astonishing that the Starkeys have managed to submit this most recent version. What part of visible do they not understand? I understand that a partial roof panel installation would be acceptable to Old Kings Highway, yet in their goal for total exclusion of any fuel costs, the applicants press on for 100% coverage, and we are apparently unwilling to repair whichever additional roofs might support their project without visibility. How about ground placement of those solar units, which would otherwise be seen by the public? So long as the Starkey application involves visible solar panels, I continue to support Yarmouth's Old Kings Highway Committee in its denial of this application and of any future attempts by the applicants to circumvent Old Kings Highway regulations. I might also add that I both question and resent the involvement in this matter of a town Yarmouth select person, Liz Argo, a known solar proponent, signed Dinah Wolf, 270 Route 6A, Yarmouthport. And then we have a letter dated August, that one was dated today. We have a letter dated August 18th, 2025, to the Yarmouth Historic Commission, Old Kings Highway Regional Historic District Commission, copied to Susan Starkey. Dear members of the Commission, I'm writing in support of the Starkey family's request for approval of to install solar panels on their property within the Old Kings Highway Historic District. The use of solar energy represents an important step toward affordable, sustainable, and clean power. While I greatly respect the mission of the Historic Commission to preserve the unique character of our community, I believe that solar panels can be integrated in a way that respects the historic appearance while addressing the very real needs of today. It is worth noting that modern additions such as overhead electric lines, utility poles, and other infrastructure have long been part of the streetscape. These elements have inevitably altered the historic appearance, yet they were necessary for the growth and function of the community. Allowing solar panels is a continuation of that balance between preservation and progress. I encourage the Commission to consider that solar panels carefully placed will not diminish the historic character of the district. Instead, they represent our community's willingness to embrace clean energy while continuing to safeguard our heritage. Thank you for your careful consideration of this matter. I hope you will support the Starkeys in their effort to contribute positively to both our environment and our community. Respectfully, A. Rick Binico, and I don't know what his address is. And the last one. Dear Old Kings Highway Committee, this one is dated August 21st. We do not feel the updates in the revised application for solar panels at 55 Route 6A, Yarmouthport are conducive to or support the historic character of the Old Kings Highway. Thank you, Douglas and Mary Robinson, Yarmouthport. And I know they live on the corner of Church and 6A. So,
Within the application itself, not a letter.
what?
Said it was within the application itself, another letter.
Oh. Okay, just been made aware from our vice chairman that there is a fourth letter. So this one's dated August 18th, and it's signed by Patricia M. Blackburn, Esquire, 15 Flintlock Way, Yarmouthport. Support for Starkey installation of solar panels at 55 Route 6A. To the members of the Old Kings Highway Committee, we write to enthusiastically support Susan and Al Starkey's proposal before this committee to install solar panels at their home. Electricity is becoming increasingly difficult to afford. Solar power derived from solar panels delivers affordable electricity to consumers. Friends and neighbors who have installed solar panels on their homes all report that their monthly electric bill has been drastically reduced, and power they don't use goes back into the utility grid where the benefits are distributed to consumers. Such economic advantages are significant. Solar power offers renewable energy a renewable energy option that is healthier for the planet. The cost of us not adapting our individual resource use to the grim realities of our changing climate is high. The benefits of home solar panel installation should outweigh any arguable historical concerns. The Starkey's home is set far back on their property. The proposed solar installation would be minimally visible from the nearby streets, Route 6A and Willow Street. Further, the proposed solar panels will blend into the color of their roof. Far more historically objectionable intrusions are present in our quaint neighborhood. Not a fan of visible power lines or large newly built residences. We all deserve access to renewable and affordable energy. The Starkeys seem to have taken the Commission's earlier concerns seriously and changed their initial proposal. Accordingly, prohibiting their proposed installation of solar panels seems unreasonable. We ask you to approve their application for a certificate of appropriateness. Thank you for the time to consider this letter in support of the Starkeys proposal, and it's signed Patricia M. Blackburn and Richard E. Foster. Okay, ready? Go ahead.
Thanks for having us out again, committee. Great to see all of you here. You know, I think that last letter did start us off to a good foot. You know, we were a little emotional. Things were heated last time we were here. And I think ultimately we were looking for some level of compromise. So this new design does exactly that. It seemed that the high roof that had more direct exposure to both roads was the largest concern, was my biggest takeaway from that. So we moved away from that, and the Starkeys have made compromises around that as well. We had to increase the system size a little bit to still meet their goals. We have also a late submission today. We had a mock-up photo done where it was a photo of the street with the panels inlaid on the current roof. Are we able to pull that up at all, committee, do you know?
I didn't get anything.
Yeah, it was this evening still.
What time did you send it? I didn't get it.
I have it here if anybody wants to see it. Sure. Do you have a hard copy or on your phone? Thank you.
So it's just one picture?
Yes.
Yep, this would be the view, the only view from the street that.
Well,
array
it's
would
a direct head-on view of the gable end of the L addition. So,
If you move about 10,
it's the
15
most advantageous view possible to show that the solar panels are not visible from Willow Street.
The only argument I'd make is if you move about 10 to 15 feet to the right, you hit that tree line and can no longer see that face.
Could I ask, the application,
Wait,
Sorry.
Are you
I do
done, gentlemen?
apologize.
Chair will entertain. Yeah, question.
Leave this with us, or do you want to back?
I guess to wrap it up, I know the Starkeys have done, this was late on the list when it came to home energy efficiencies. They've gone through Mass Save, they've done insulation efforts. They've really attempted all aspects to lower their annual usage, which is why a system like this does produce all of their needs, because they have taken extensive steps to modernize their home from a home energy efficiency standpoint as well.
That it?
Yeah.
Okay, questions or comments from the committee?
would you care to clarify that the application is for 10 panels, or per the illustration?
The original application was 10. This is for 12. So we've had to increase the system size by 2 panels by using a less efficient size.
By
Less-
using,
less
sorry,
efficient space.
oh, because the way they're aiming?
Exactly.
Got it.
Thank you.
So 2 more in the north roof.
It requires 2 more on the on the north roof to offset the western facing roof that we were using before, or eastern, excuse me.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments?
This plan represents what you're proposing.
Tough for me to see. That looks like the correct one. The second page in.
The PV-4.
Correct, yep.
Thank you.
So there have been proposed two alternative locations and concepts for solar. And I know there have been objections to both, but just for the record, I would like to reintroduce them. One is for ground-mounted solar panels, and the other one is for solar panels on the south-facing roof of one of the two outbuildings. And so part of the objection, of course, is cost. I understand the ground-mounted panels are more expensive to install.
It's not only that, the space is certainly limited. You have to be not only set back from the borders, which we could potentially squeeze something in, but it's also a setback from the house. That being said, it would be an array that has excess metal. It's a smaller system, and to have a ground-mounted array, you have to have a clean square grid, and you can't do a 3x4. So there would be excess metal hanging off of that, which I think to the committee would be more intrusive visually to have not only the solar array, but also just open bracketing.
Well, that can be masked with a fence. You know, ground-mounted panels are they're near the ground. So with a 6-foot-high fence, you can easily mask them.
Yeah, the biggest concern was just spacing. It was just kind of too tight to fit in there.
Space is a concern, but
Yeah.
visibility is not.
I think both are concerns, and I think that the spacing of it made it a non-feasible project. From our
So the outbuilding that's closest to Willow Street, which is the one that to the eye appears to be in the better shape of the two, those panels would not be visible at all because they're blocked by the barn, the abutting barn. And I know that it's been stated that there are structural concerns with the roof of that structure. I don't know if that concern was actually independently verified by an engineer or a licensed contractor, but it would seem to me that it would be worth investigating exactly how serious the condition of that roof is and how much it would cost to repair it. I'm also aware that with either of those two systems, or if they were used in concert in some way, that there is the added expense of trenching. But it's not our function here to consider cost in our deliberations. What we're interested in is appropriateness and setting, and as I believe I've stated in similar words, if not the same words, this is a highly significant structure in the heart of the historic district. On the corner of 6A and Willow Street is one of the two principal gateways from the Mid-Cape Highway to Yarmouthport. So it's a very sensitive house and a historically significant house. And this committee prioritizes its decisions based on how significant an application is with respect to our charge, which is to preserve the character of the historic district. So if it appears that we're being tough about this, guilty as charged.
I do have a comment.
We are, or I am in particular. I let the other committee members speak for themselves.
I have a comment. I think removing them from the east-facing roof that they were on previously is a positive step. Unfortunately, putting them on both sides of the L really draws the eye to the L when you drive by, and you can't help but see them. It probably makes it more visible than they were just on one side of the L previously. So that's the law of unintended consequences is at play here, and they're visible, going either way on Willow Street now. There's no way around it.
I have a different opinion. The Starkeys have been in here, I think, 6 times. Is that right? 6 times? 5? And they've been trying very, very hard to come up with an array that will fit in the neighborhood in that location, which is really hard because you've got 6A and Willow Street almost parallel the way they are configured there. So trying to find a place to put them, they've been trying really, really hard. I agree with Mr. Grady that the east-facing facade made them very visible. I personally feel that the north and south facades are minimally visible as you drive by. I got out of my car and walked over and stood in front, and even standing there, I believe those 2 facades are minimally visible, even walking by. They're not visible from 6A, which I think is important. Willow Street, to me, is not as important as 6A. There are 2 other houses on Willow Street that have more solar panels visible from the street, so I think they've done a good job, and I'm in favor of the new proposal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
Would matte panels be less immediately visible? Does that diminish?
They are a flat black. With the color of the roof being black also, they're as close to unnoticeable in a color difference as you can get in a solar and roofing combination.
When you say flat,
Matt, that's
Flat,
like
matte, yeah, sorry, he's.
okay, no, I just want to be clear. So they're matte, these panels. Okay.
I
Well,
would also comment that the bracketing that we're using now is also a lower profile. Again, I would comment that the bracketing that we're using now is also a lower profile. So again, it's not something that's completely offset. It does sit closer to the roof.
And they're getting a new roof?
Yes,
Now, is that the whole house or just this one L?
the whole house.
Nice.
so why couldn't some of that money be applied to the outbuilding?
The outbuilding would basically need to be completely rebuilt.
I'd like independent, that does not seem,
For the weight load and to have the snow load.
that defies just a quick visual inspection of it. I'd like an independent assessment of the condition of that building. I think the Blythe statement that you just made is a stretch
Don't mean
in
to
all
reach, sir.
likelihood. So
How many panels could you fit on that outbuilding? If it were structurally sound, would that outbuilding have sufficient roof area to capture the needs of what they need for their home, for the 10 or 12 panels?
We didn't even get to the engineering stage of that with mapping out how many panels could fit on that with fire code setbacks.
Okay. Well, that's a southwest facing facade, so it's,
I mean, if it could be done, it would be essentially and actually invisible from any public way. That resonates with me personally, and I feel like we're in the dark here insofar as exactly what the cost would be. What are the various costs associated with those options?
The option on the outbuilding, you're saying?
The outbuilding or the ground-mounted solar panels. We're trying to make a decision without, and I know you've been here before, and I know this has been a struggle, but it's important, and we want to get it right, and I think there's an opportunity to get it right, but we're still lacking all the requisite information, I think, to make an informed decision on this. If what was proposed was the only option out there, then things would be different, I think. But I'm not convinced that that's the only option.
Maybe that was my mistake in not providing some, I guess, failed explorations into knowledge there. But if that's something that could, validate a level of approval by ruling out some of the other proposed options which we had done internally, but to show evidence of our findings, is that something that would kind of validate what we're looking at
Yeah,
here?
I think information is information, and we're lacking I believe we're lacking information still. And I'm sorry if the communication hasn't been perfect, and you didn't understand that we were interested in those alternative installations, but I want to make it clear,
Yeah, I
me
definitely-
personally, I'm interested in definitive information on those alternative installations.
It did seem definitive that the ground mount was not a fit, but I know in this conversation here, it's just my word of what we did versus showing evidence of that.
So curious on the ground mounted, what are the actual setbacks the town requires from both the street, property lines, house? What are the setbacks that they require? Is it 25 feet?
Most municipalities in the state of Massachusetts are requiring a minimum of 20 feet from the boundary markers on each side of the home in order for that to go inside. But each township can be different in as what they're looking for and how it goes. As far as what Yarmouth is looking for, may be different than other municipalities.
In the last meeting, there was some question as to what the setbacks were.
Right.
There was some representation that it was 50 feet.
And that could be it too, sir.
That is incorrect. We contacted the building commissioner in Yarmouth, and his response is that the side setback is 20 feet, the front setback is 30 feet.
Okay.
Willow Street is also, this house has two front setbacks, one on 6A and one on Willow Street. So solar panels, ground-mounted solar panels can be put in an area that is 30 feet from Willow Street and 20 feet from the property line on the north side. And that property line actually on the aerial is well into the vegetation. So it appears to me, looking at the aerial imagery, that there is room to put solar panels largely on the area that's the oversized driveway. And I don't know what the setback is from a house or if there is one, but
That's true. So for clarity, once again, in this, what you're looking for is a comparative analysis of all three options that are available in order to make a decision on this. A ground mount system, the exterior buildings in order for this in comparison to what is present and being presented at this time. Is that correct?
In a sense of being able to rule out the others as options.
So is the financial component of it also, well, that doesn't need to be taken into, we're talking about the aesthetic portion of it or the comparative analysis based on what it would cost and would it cause an encumbrance? Is that what we're looking at?
I mean, we are not, how much do we decide based on finances?
Well, only in cases of hardship.
And that's not a hardship case.
Right. So, but we're interested, it's more a matter of feasibility than economics. And I realize that there's an overlap there between the two considerations. If it gets to be prohibitively expensive to fix the roof on that outbuilding, for example, well, I mean, we have to be reasonable about that. All I'm saying is, just eyeballing that structure doesn't look in terrible shape, doesn't look like it's ready to fall down. The ridge is level to the ground, and so, and I don't, you know, it's stated as though it's a matter of certainty, but we haven't been presented with evidence of the poor condition of that roof or how much it would cost to shore it up. It's also interesting to me that this plan includes a free replacement of the entire roof of the house. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, free is an operative word. It's all inclusive. It's not, there's nothing free. I mean, it's
Right,
all-
so if you didn't have to replace the roof of the house, there's that money that could be allocated, theoretically.
I mean,
Well-
the ground mount project itself would outweigh the costs of replacing the roof in this situation. To trench all the way around the house and to shore it foundationally would absolutely be more expensive than the cost of the roof.
Right, but you understand my point is,
Yep.
I hear you state that, but I don't hear numbers, and I don't see supporting evidence. I'm not challenging what you're saying, I'm just saying that
The data.
we don't have, right.
Totally understand.
So this analysis that we could create, I mean, part of me feels, and I would like, is to say all options have been explored before we make a ruling on this in order to make a more informed decision on.
Informed, that's put very well, thank you, yes.
Okay.
you put us in a hard place to try and, to ask us to approve this when we believe there are other options that are less visible, that have not been fully explored.
I understand. And part of what happens is as we make these presentations, it's unique based on what's being asked for in order to make a determination on this specific project. And as we've watched other projects, these types of requests are probably more, are different. And then the way in our regular presentation. So it wasn't as if we were looking to sidestep or defer based on what we presented. It's just that this community, based on so much opposition of what's happening, I understand the fact that they're looking for a more definitive way to say, we explored all options and this is how the determination we got here. Would that be clear?
Yes.
Okay.
And, you know, I mean, I have not given up hope that this could be in some way resolved to the satisfaction of probably not everybody, but every reasonable person. And so my inclination is to give it another go, but first of all, has everyone on the committee expressed their concerns or asked the questions they want to ask? Are there any more comments or questions from the committee? Because I know we have questions or comments from the public. So, all right, let's hear the questions or comments from the public then.
As part of the public and a homeowner of the property that we're talking about, just two things. One is that the
All
horse...
right, can I say that you are Susan Starkey
Yes.
for the record?
Yes,
Okay,
thank
go
you,
ahead.
Susan Starkey, yes. So the garage, which is the roof that you're talking about that faces south, is a antique horse barn. And Jared and both of our partners here are terrific, but they're the third company that we've had look at this. So I don't have the numbers from before when the two other companies said, that's not a roof that we want to touch. So that's done. That roof is not a good one to touch, especially with the rules that you abide by, which is that you don't want to permanently change the historic nature. And redoing that roof of a antique horse barn would permanently change the structure. Where if we have solar panels on the two ends, or if you want it on, the original place that we had it, that is not permanent. So you are obliged to not deny this project if it is not a permanent change to the historic nature. So we're very close. We're just talking about minimally visible, not invisible. We've done everything we can to make it minimally visible. Our costs are not your concern. Your desire for us to pay money for things that we don't need to is not our concern. Costs should be off the table. We need to just look at minimally visible and not permanent. So that's the points I want to make. Thank you very much for all the effort.
Anyone else from the public wish to address us? Okay, one thing, I have to challenge the assertion that solar panels on any roof constitutes a permanent structure. Solar panels are reversible. They can be taken off at the future. So it would not be necessarily a permanent installation on a historic structure.
I think she was not commenting on the solar panels, but the fact of rebuilding the structure of the roof.
Right, but what she said was it was a historic structure, and the panel that this would be a permanent. I understood her to say that this would be a permanent alteration to that structure.
I thought you meant rebuilding the roof would be a permanent alteration.
Well, be that as it may, structurally reinforcing the roof would be primarily done in the interior.
Yes, it's not.
It's not going to affect the exterior appearance unless you re-roof it.
Would fall under the category of maintenance, done properly and sensitively. All right, so anything else from anyone else? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion on this application.
I move to approve application 25-A099.
Is there a second? Apparently not. So we need another motion.
Move to table application 25-A099.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of tabling the application signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. So, thank you for your forbearance. I'm a starry-eyed optimist. We'll get there. I don't know how long it'll take, but we'll get there. Not tonight, unfortunately, from your perspective. Okay, so... what did I do with my agenda? Thank you, gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen.
Come on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the last tabled item on the agenda is 25-A071. It's to install 14 solar panels on the rear roof at 979 Route 6A. Karen Lane is the owner. Sunrun Installation Services is the agent. Do we have either here tonight?
There's no one online or in the room. Wait, what does it say, participants 3? Who's up there, Lisa? It says participants 3 up there.
Yeah, that's me, and then 2
Oh,
in
okay.
there and that, so that's all.
there's no one else.
Internal, yeah, so.
Okay, so I need a motion to table 25-A071.
Untabled it. Oh, do we have to untable it? It was tabled from last time.
Well, it's, yeah, we moved to untable it, now we need to move to table it. Did we
did
not
not.
move to untable it?
We didn't,
All right, well, let's move to untable it then.
so be it.
Okay, is there a second?
All right.
Second.
All right, all in favor of untabling 25-A071 signify by saying aye.
All right.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to
Table
table
25-0.
application
Move to table
25-A07. Okay, is there a
A071.
second?
Second.
All right, all in favor of retabling 25-A071 signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. And now we will take another shot at untabling 25-A114.
Move to untable 25-A114.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of untabling this application signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. And do we have Kevin Quinlivan or anyone else here or online to represent this application? It would seem not. So I will entertain a motion to table application 25-A114 once again.
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of retabling 25-A114 signify by saying aye.
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 And aye. Now, we need to approve the minutes of the August 11th, 2025 hearing.
Move to approve the minutes of the August 11th, 2025 meeting.
Second.
All in favor of approval of the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Excuse me.
And aye.
I wasn't here.
The next meeting is September, so one abstained. Next meeting is September 8th, 2025, and I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of adjournment?
Recording stopped.
Aye.
Recording in progress.
Adjourned.
Signify by saying aye.
See Lisa back there.
And aye.
The whole time you just
Recording
show up.
stopped.
Been here the whole time?